Hey everyone, how's it going? So Kanajin. So I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of a JLPT today, as well as my new attack strategy on the N2 test. So just before I get into that, 1,100 subscribers. Wow, thank you guys. Just to see a new subscriber, like whatever day it is, makes me happy. And I know I haven't been doing a lot of videos recently, but to still have so much interest in my channel and so many new subscribers, it means a lot. So thank you all new subscribers for joining. I'm gonna try and keep up videos when I can, but I'm a busy guy, so there's no promises there. I just got this ukulele here. It's brilliant. It's a really nice instrument. Much smaller than the guitar. I haven't had too much time to mess with it, but it's got a very nice sound. So yeah, I thought I'd just share that for all of you interested in music out there too. Right, to get to the point. So today I'm going to be talking about JLPT, as I said. So I just want to talk about the pros and cons. So for all the levels, there's so many different books. For example, right here I've got an N3 book, which really goes through the grammar points quite well. Then here I've got an N2 vocabulary book, giving you lots of new vocab, and an N1 vocabulary book too. I haven't really touched this one yet for obvious reasons, but yeah, there's so many books out there. You go to any good Japanese bookstore, so Kinokuniya for example, and you'll find so many resources for studying the JLPT. But wow, that is a really good pro, that there's so much out there. I suppose most people's goal, if they're learning or studying the JLPT, is to get their Japanese level really good and really high, but the JLPT doesn't test you on speaking, it doesn't test you on your oral ability, and it doesn't test you on writing either. So those two skills, if you don't practice them around the test, then they are going to go right down, because it's quite an easy habit to fall into if you are just studying grammar points, looking at kanji. It's quite easy to fall into a habit of not actually writing Japanese for a long time. And I definitely think last year I had at least 6 or 7 months where I would barely even touch a pen to write Japanese. So when I came back and started reviewing my writing in January, I was shocked at how bad my writing had become. So yeah, writing every day is really important, or writing as often as you can. I know we don't do it enough in English language, but I suppose it's quite vital for Japanese, because it really does help you remember kanji as well. Like, if you can remember how to write it, then that sort of helps when you're looking for the right kanji in a test. And it's just good to know how to write as well, I suppose. And of course, speaking, which, if you want to communicate in Japanese, that is so important, and it's not tested on the JLPT. So yeah, being able to speak Japanese is so important. If you're not practicing reading out loud, or if you're not talking to someone else in Japanese, then even if you do have N1, even if you do pass N1, I don't think you'll be able to speak great Japanese, which is why I'm really trying to increase how much I speak Japanese and how much I look at, well, how much I read out of books too, and try and use new words that I learn as well. So that is really important. And I've got to say, if you're not comfortable, well, right now, just so you know, if you're not sure, I passed the N3 test, and I'm going to be taking the N2 again this year. I've already failed the N2 once, and to be honest, I'm not comfortable with all the N3 material. Like, I can't read just a example grammar sentence and maybe understand that grammar point for some of it, not all of it. Well, as I say, I'm reviewing it right now, so I'm becoming a lot more confident with it, but you've really got to have a strong N3, N4, N5 base before tackling the higher levels, and that doesn't just mean being able to look at it with your eyes and find the right answer. I think, well, for me, that means being able to use it in everyday conversation, to hear it and be able to understand it, and of course to look at it in a book and understand just exactly what it's talking about. It's so important. So yeah, kind of linking on to my second topic, my new N2 attack strategy. So, as you may have guessed by what I've been talking about, I am reviewing N3. I'm going through a grammar book. So this talks about all the N3 grammar points in nice little stories. So I'm going through it story by story, and I'm actually writing it out. So this is my writing practice here. I'm going through old material and I'm just writing it out. I've had a lot of help with making sure my hiragana and katakana, that they're being written properly, because I used to write some of them really strangely, so I've gotten a lot better with those, and I'm pretty decent with kanji stroke orders now, so that's not a problem. And yeah, I sort of write it out, I read it myself, see if I can read it, see if I can understand everything it's going on about and understand all the small grammar points, and if not, I'll just go into the book and just double check what that grammar point means, and that sort of helps cement that information into my head. So not just writing, but another book that I've shown before in one of my study resource materials, but I didn't use for a long time, is this book. So, Maneshite Joutatsu Nihongo Ondoku Training. So, reading aloud in Japanese. So, this book is absolutely great. It gives you quite a lot of keigo and polite Japanese, but in real situations. And it gives you 2 CDs. I've burned them onto my iPhone, my iPod, my iPad. And you sort of just, it's pretty much like karaoke, so you just look at the words in the book and you listen along, and then you say the word out loud. Now, if you're a bit shy, then just find a quiet place or just sort of whisper it or what have you, but the louder you can say it, the more confident you'll be when you use it in a real situation. And I've only been using this book again for about a week, and already I've become able to use so much of the new words and the phrases in here in real life, and it already, my Japanese seems noticeably better, which is, I feel so happy about it, being able to speak better Japanese in more professional situations, being able to use the appropriate language. And yeah, this book's a great help. Right at the start, there's more sort of business topics, job interviews, sort of customer voicemail, applications, travel itineraries. Then it goes on to sort of presentations, and there's quite a lot of stories too, so real life stories. There's quite a famous one in here called Kitchen, so Daidokuro Kitchen, and basically there's so many really interesting stories that you can practice reading in here, and it's great practice. It also gives a good explanation of all the words you probably don't know, and it's much easier to understand, I find, than some of the other vocabulary books out here. Like, I'm still going through my N2 vocabulary book just to keep my vocabulary building, but again, this doesn't come with an audio CD, so it makes it, and it doesn't come in a sort of real life situation or an actual story, so it's a bit harder to practice that language. You sort of just gotta read through list after list after the list, and it can become a bit wearing after time. But it's still important to have books like this. But yeah, especially this book has been such a great help to me over the past week or so. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much it for my N2 attack. So focusing on my speaking ability, learning new things to say and making sure I'm confident in saying them. Focusing on my writing, revising previous levels, and carrying on building up my knowledge of new words. So yeah, that's my sort of attack strategy for now. Once I finish one or two of these books, then I'm probably going to move on to N2 grammar once again and review N2 kanji again. But yeah, already I'm feeling much more confident about taking the test this December. I've learned so much since January in comparison from last year's July through to December, which was 6 months. So yeah, in just, nearly 3 months, I've learned so much more than in 6 months. So already this way is really paying off for me. So I want to know too from you guys, if you are studying for the JLPT tests, how do you go about it, and do you use similar methods? Are you fussed about knowing how to write Japanese or being able to speak lots of Japanese, or do you just want to sort of get the tests to say, I passed the JLPT? Yeah, I want to know what you think, so please leave a comment down below, and if you haven't, then please subscribe to my channel. There'll be many more videos like this. So yeah, that's it guys. Thank you for staying and watching. It's quite a long video at nearly 12 minutes, but yeah, I hope it helps out, and I want to hear what you say. So yeah, that's it for now. So Kanajin out. Goodbye.